Frank, I feel like we got a pretty good reading there of what the Fed is feeling like. Watched about 20 minutes of that, 15, 20 minutes of Jerome Powell there. What I think is interesting is that I mean, Frank, you and I talked about this before the live stream. That outlook for the Federal Reserve, that they're going to side on the side of caution, as they sort of always do. But what's your take on that 5.6% number? That not only are they, many traders, a lot of Wall Street is thinking pause and then cuts going into next year. What we just got from the Fed was a little bit to the contrary. We saw 5.6% sometime the end of this year, which we saw initially a big push to the upside on the dollar, has given back some of that. And he just mentioned the two-year shot up, has given back some of this. Any reaction to this from you, Frank? What do you think?
I mean, 5.6 was what was before. It's nothing really new. What he's concerned about, in my opinion, is what he said was the core CPI. Is what we talked about a little before we put on the meeting. He said it's tough to assess the data up until they're at the point. So once they decide, they'll decide. They don't decide a month in advance. So I think 5.6 is probably like what their cap is going to be. And they keep talking about like how it's lagging and how it will take some time to assess the data. So, we're going to have a couple more meetings throughout the year. 5.6 seems very possible. But I think what he was also saying was that how aggressive we were back then until now, like we went very, very stringent on 75 basis points every meeting. Then we dialed back to 50. Now we're at 25, and now we see nothing. It's just showing the overall resilience of, the market overall. The economy is just doing much better. And the only thing that seemed to be on his mind was core CPI, just the stickiness of it. So 5.6 I can see, but I can also see, if there's a point in time once we get into Q3 that, things are slowing down, core comes down. If that's the case, then we may not even have to go that high. So I think, honestly, Powell's doing a really good job. It started off very scary, but he kind of inherited such an issue.
What's up?
Dude, what happened to you?
Haven't you heard? It's the summer half-off discount sale.
Oh, that's right, I forgot.
Right now only, get half off any of our VIP Discord memberships. These memberships include access to our signals, where you can get entries and exits from Frank and I, and full breakdown and analysis with each trade. You can learn our strategies in detail. You can learn how to get funded with our training material to help traders looking for funding. And you can also join the chat room community. We have several membership opportunities, so click the link and check them out for yourself. And remember, you get half off if you either message us or use the discount code you see on the screen now.
I like the gym membership guy who said, he's like, why don't you rip the Band-Aid off? And like, I go to the gym to lift weights.
Yep.
Just something like that. He must have a lot of shorts on the market right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's an interesting point to be made that, the core CPI stuff, the core PPI, those numbers have not been nearly as impressive as the headline. Earlier, we had Alex on the show, and Alex was talking with us about how, a lot of it had to do with energy, right? If you look at deep dive into the headline CPI number, we had a lot of energy volatility, which helped to impress the headline CPI. But you take a look at core, I mean, here's core PPI, came out as expected and same as the previous go around. And then if we take a look at yesterday's number, same thing with core CPI month over month. you know, we were seeing previously 0.4%, forecast was 0.4, we got 0.4. Sure, headline was down. We had 4% inflation compared to 4.1%. And these are certainly things that, you know, help to lift the market, but it does seem a little bit like, you know, the Fed or Jerome Powell specifically turned his attention today to the fact that they're looking at core CPI, they're looking at core PPI, and they're looking out for that core PCE, reiterating how important that number is to them. You know, I think it's interesting. You had this big reaction to the downside of the S&P 500. We had Chris on the show, and again, he's looking real smart right now. He closed out some of his puts. You know, basically that he had on the markets. I believe he said NASDAQ and S&P 500. And we saw that bounce off of this. Frank, where are you at with indices? Are you looking to be a buyer? Are you looking for a discount? I mean, 5.6% is, you know, still a ways higher that could be coming. What's your take on that?
So the way I take it is the economy remains resilient. Stocks, yeah, they catch bad breaks, but they keep coming down, or they keep moving up, and then they have these down days. I think over time, I don't know about today or tomorrow, but I am still long, or I have a long bias on the stock market and gold as well. It's coming back, pairing all of the losses it took from the meeting. Obviously can change, but it's just the overall resilience you see in what Powell talks about and what other analysts will say is, you know, 5.6, that's not too far away if we get there. And then from there, even if we get to that level, that's going to be it pretty much is what the sentiment is. So closer to the top of the hikes than we are to, we're closer to the end than we are to the beginning. So I think the markets are reacting accordingly. And PPI as well, although it's sticky, or that's what they're calling it, it's been, since a year ago, it's down tremendously. So I think, honestly, if you want to be long, or if you want to have a bias, I would say look for longs on the stock market.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, to your point about producer price index, we'll just pull this up for just a second, just to see if we can put that on the spotlight. We did add PPI to the EDGEFINDER, and you can see, to your point, I mean, PPI, producer price index, which is of course further up the supply chain, showing some serious decline, right? And this is right direction kind of stuff, which probably lends to some upside on the S&P. I personally will be looking for deeper pullbacks before I look to get long, but I'm generally bullish. A lot of forward guidance for companies are looking strong. So we'll keep eyes on that. Frank, thank you for joining, as always, watching the reaction with us. Gold bouncing here. It's an interesting day in the markets, and we will certainly have more to come. Frank, thank you for coming on.
Thanks.
Don't forget to check out the links in the description if you want our broker recommendation, access to our free Discord, free EDGEFINDER, or want to chat with us on Telegram. Remember, you can watch us live in the markets every morning starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and we have lots more free trading tools and content available on our website, a1trading.com. Thanks for watching.